Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I have another layout and using the Studio Calico front row kit for February. I did pull out a few things from my own stash and a few things from Amy Tangerine, the Yes Please die cut collection, and a few thickers. Those were from the February kit. And then I took out two pieces of cardstock because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the green with the more yellow tone or the more blue tone. So I just took out both of them so I could make a decision later. And again, I'm using my scraps. So I went through everything that I had left and I cut pieces that were 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I have a Sisex die, hexagon die, and it's a 2-inch one. And I went through it and I cut out everything with my Cuttle Bug. And I didn't do it on camera because it was quite long and tedious. It was like 15 minutes. But what I did was I put my timer on so that I would know exactly how long it took me to cut those out. So between cutting the 2 1/4 inch squares and die cutting, it took 15 minutes altogether. And then I'm just going through the hexagons and just placing them on the layout as I like them. There's no rhyme or reason, just trying to use up as much scraps as I can. And I believe this is page 24 out of 50 for the Facebook challenge, and it's also page 24 for the February kit. And this layout took me 1 hour and 54 minutes, and that's including the 15 minutes of cutting out the squares and using the die cut machine for the hexagon. And I think I might have I have another page on deck is what I call it, because it's all there ready and it's still using scraps from the February kit. And then I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to try and get another page done from the kit. I'm not quite sure yet. If I'm going to do so or not. Sorry, I had two cats fighting under my legs here, so I had to kind of shoo them away. My daughter just moved in with us and she has 2 cats, and we had one here before and they've only been here a couple of days, so they're still feeling out the territory. So they were kind of, batting at each other here under my legs. So anyway, so sorry for being distracted, but anyway, I just kind of finished finished putting all the hexagons. In the last few months, I had done a couple of hexagon sheets or pages, and I had just kind of put it a little bit on the page. And I have 3 sizes of hexagons. I think I have 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 2 inches. So I did different sizes every time I did it. And this time around, I wanted to cover the whole background so that it looked like it was, like a whole sheet of hexagon. And then I decided on the yellower green because I wanted to use that pattern that we had in the kit. And it was more a yellow tint than a blue tint. So I used that, and then I used a piece of the paper bag that we get with the kits. And then I cut up that doily, and I had used that doily on a page a few months ago, and I had used it as a mask. I had put it into 3 different spots on my page, and in doing so, it kind of colored the doily. So I wanted to make sure that I used it. So I ended up cutting it in half and putting it at the top right and the bottom left. And then I'm going through my wood veneers that we got in the kit, and it was all arrows and stuff. And that little heart container was almost full when I started with my February kit. And it's going down quite a bit. I've used quite a bit of the kit or quite a bit of the wood veneers. I know I don't have any freckled fawns left, and I have a few of the wood veneer arrows. And then instead of gluing down that whole paper bag, I left it open on the side so that I could slip 3 tags into it. And those tags are from Studio Calico. They just didn't come in the kit. I bought them separately a few months ago. And so they're like a vanilla color. So I just stuck them in there. And then I stepped away for a few minutes. I believe my family was just getting home from work. So I just went downstairs and greeted them and forgot to stop the recorder. So, here I am again. So at this point, I believe I start gluing everything down. And for knowing exactly what I was going to do, I found this page took me quite a bit of time, because I find that the page was so busy, it was hard for me to know what else to put on. So I was looking through my stuff, and just the doily, I didn't find it was enough to separate. So then I started looking through my little books. I have the Pebbles, the Simple Stories, and the Recollections from Michael's. And I'm going to go through those books, and I'm going to find a couple of sheets that I want to use. And this photo here is of my youngest daughter, and it was we go apple picking every year, and it's more for family pictures than it is for actual apple picking. I mean, we do end up apple picking, but every year it's so that we can have new family pictures, sort of a tradition, and the kids make sure that we go every year. And ever since she was a little girl, it didn't matter where we went, whether we were at the mall or, people would always say, "Oh my goodness, it's so easy to see that she's your daughter. She looks exactly like you." So I started calling her Mini Me, and I used to tell her, that must bug you, that, because I mean, who likes to hear, that you look like your mom, And she's so sweet. She's like, "Nope, it doesn't bother me at all. If I can look the way you do at your age, Mommy, I'll be happy." And so she's super sweet. So I'm sure it bothers her, but she won't say it. And so at this point, I decided on 2 pieces of, like I said, from those books, and I cut them in half, and I put them at the top right and the bottom left. And then I went and grabbed my washi tape again from Alison Craft from Webster's Page. It is becoming very fast one of my favorite ones. And as soon as I can reach my 50 pages, I'm going to put in an order, and I'm going to make sure that I order 1 or 2 more of these washi tapes, because I don't want to run out. It's one of those tapes that, it just won't, the trend won't go away, because I mean, it's cameras and it's black and white, so it's not something that will, not be in trend. So at this point, I go through my buttons, and there are doodlebug buttons, and I choose 3 of them, 3 red ones. And sorry, I'm being distracted again, but my daughter's cat, yesterday I was sitting down at the table at my desk, and all of a sudden he jumped on my back, like all claws dug into my back. He was trying to climb up on my back. They're kittens. So anyway, he's just in the room here, and I'm just afraid he's going to try and do that again, because it hurt. I was just like, get off my back. And so anyway, I had claw marks everywhere, and I was bleeding. And anyway, I'm kind of nervous of him or of her being around me right now. So I'm just keeping an eye on her. So sorry if I'm a little distracted. And anyway, I decided on these stickers, and the title is just going to be Mini Me. And I really love those stickers. I hadn't used them till the last layout, and I kept seeing them, but I always had different, letters that match the layouts better. But where this is sort of a mishmash of all the papers, I find that that font looks really good with it and the colors and stuff. So in the digital kit I had this strip that just said epic, awesome, gorgeous, and stunning and fabulous. So I just cut it in 3 different little strips and I put it in each cluster. And then I also went through my stash and got those hearts from Prima that you can ink up, and I inked them up with the cough syrup ink from Jenny Bolin. And then I put it in the 3 different clusters also. So I'm just going to use some glue. Sorry, the cat is back in the room here, so I just got to watch her to make sure she doesn't try to jump on my back. And so they're just little kittens. They're only like I don't know, 4 months old, so they're still quite playful and stuff. So anyway, I decided to put twine on my tags, and then I used my Copic markers and colored some rhinestone. And then as I was putting it down, I noticed that it would look really cute in the lens of the camera to put those rhinestones. So that's what I did. I put them in the lens of the cameras. And then I'm going to sew down my buttons with, it's actually crochet thread. So it's a little thicker, and I think that's why I'm having so much trouble putting it through the needle. Like, it's not just regular thread, but I like it because it's not really thin. And it's a huge ball of crochet thread. So, I mean, I love it. It's going to last me forever. I'm sure I'll never have to buy one of those again. I've had it forever, and it hasn't even gone down a bit. So then I took out some ink to ink up the page, and someone was asking me what do I use to ink up my page. So it is from Tattered Angels, and it's called Glimmer Glaze, and it comes in little bottles. And yes, they do still sell it, and they come in a ton of different colors. I think I have about 25 different colors, and just this past season they came out with a few new colors too. So they're awesome. They sit on top of the page. They don't soak in the page. So even if you have something glossy, it dries on glossy stuff. So it's really great. I really love it. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.